Yeah.
sweating like crazy for the school certificate examination, and you're wondering, how am I going to cope when my
When
time?
time comes.
And then you find you're there and you're wondering, am I doing it right? I don't seem to be slaving like those guys did. You know, I'm getting the same feeling now that is it an overhype?
That was the fuss about.
Yes, because I don't feel any
Were you
differently.
prepared for 80 though? For that, I tell you why I say so. Okay, so yesterday in the rain, I saw a policeman by the Saleko area in the rain, so I gave him a ride and had to drop him at Costain upstairs. And we were talking nicely. He was telling me all kinds of things. I was happy all along. Then I said, I'll have to drop you at Costain, but I won't go down. I'll have to just make a quick park and go down. That if police arrest me, they'll hold you responsible. Then he said something that I was so angry. Innocently he said, Marcos, I was wondering, who is he referring to? I am completely unprepared.
No,
Sometimes they say things and I look around to see who are they talking to.
it's amazing. I can't remember the name of this British philosopher who said a few things back in the day about getting old. First to become uncle,
Yeah.
and then suddenly you see a policeman all geared up, and you're not intimidated anymore.
No.
Then you know you're getting there. And I've had that kind of experience, particularly talking about the police people. I had a very interesting one a couple of years back, maybe 4 or 5 years back. I was coming from church. I was driving myself, and I was stopped somewhere in Abat Macaulay, in Yaba. And he asked for my papers, and I gladly brought everything out, and he looked and looked, and he said, "Papa, they said they give you license." That was when it occurred to me that sometime they won't even give me the driving license anymore.
Yes. Yes. A time will come. I get to feel that sometimes when you get strained or when you discover that your reflexes are not as it used to be and you apply a bit more care. I mean, those days, younger days, you could zoom into the road, but these days you take extra care. And I'm completely, like you said, from uncle to daddy, now to papa. So if you had to go to a function now and somebody wanted to introduce us, we'd like to call on the chairman of the occasion, Pa Dili, how would you?
Funny enough, I kind of joked with that at my 70th birthday party to say, now I'm Pa.
Yes.
I'm qualified to be called Pa. I'm 70.
Yes.
And a few rascals took it up. Since then, they were calling me Pa.
But physically, you do look okay, though. Physically, no major. You'll always have a challenge at some point in age, but no major challenges, which is very good. But what about your movement? Do you feel anything? Has anything changed?
The only thing that's changed with my movement is probably because of my eyesight, which is not the best anymore.
Okay, the best anymore.
Therefore, I'm a little more careful where I put my feet, and
yes.
I watch for elevations and things which might just trip you off. I think years of being active in sports and playing tennis, my balance is still good. Basically, because that's one of the first things that you begin to notice, I understand, as you grow up, and which is why older people have to be very careful. Your balance is not the same, and if you're not careful, you could easily tip over.
So that's also like a tip to the younger ones to keep themselves fit whilst they're young, because you need it. You need that deposit as you get older.
Absolutely, they talk about exercise being medicine. It's when you getting on in years that you realize how very important that advice is.
Now, one of the things that I'm 10 years plus younger. But even at that, one of the things that frustrates me are the developments that have met me along the way. The social media being one of them, where we all jumped on the bandwagon when Facebook came, not knowing what was in it for us, and you then find that sometimes it can be frustrating with the new dispensation, the new. When we were young, you couldn't as much as look at adults in the eye, but with the younger people, if you're not sure of yourself, you better just stay away. Do you have the kind of, well, I wouldn't compare it to Professor Wole Soyinka, apart from the white hair, but do you have that kind of frustration? Because I know you are in the social media, you're in Facebook and things. If I'm correct, you're active on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Yes.
Facebook,
Facebook, no.
No.
Okay. Why aren't you?
I just didn't get onto it. The avalanche of social media channels, sometimes I find intimidating.
Yeah.
And the kind of thing you're alluding to now is a fact, which is too many faceless people out there.
Yeah.
And being anonymous gives certain people certain, call it privilege. People who normally would not even interact with you now are happy to tear you down.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just tell myself, do I need it?
Well, what they say is that bring out all this, that we have put Nigeria in the crisis that it is in currently, so we have to bear the can.
Yes and no, but yeah, we're all guilty.
Guilty.
The leadership and the followership have something to regret that we arrived at where we are. I have a feeling that we lost what our values were as a people, which was more into concrete things like when we were growing up. How you were regarded in society wasn't totally dependent on your bank balance back in the day.
Yeah.
And if you were, say, getting married, for instance, a particular family, that family would be investigated, not for how rich they are.
Yeah.
Anybody been in prison in that family? And going to prison was such a stigma. At the time, it was inexcusable as people were concerned.
In Yaba, if the police as much as invited you to Denton police station, you're not likely to come back.
So, and then they'll check if you have any mental issues in your family, if you were the troublesome kind of people as a family, and all that, before they begin to now wonder, I hope you can take care of yourselves, thereafter. We lost all of that. And what is frightening to me is that the decay has gone so deep and so bad that even the people are worse. This whole thing about bringing the new generation, whatever it is,
yes,
it's not a remedy that recommends itself if you see what's going on.
What's going on?
Even in student unions, in universities and things and all that. And young people in one or two young people who manage to get into position as governors and things and all that. They didn't come off too well either. So we have a problem. We've lost our values. People now for what they can get, and everybody is in on
the hustle.
On the hustle, how to cheat, how to bend the rules, because again, people have lost faith in process and procedure. A few times I look back, and I was saying this to somebody not too long ago. In our time, you left primary school and you took an entrance examination into the best schools around the country.
Yes.
And what you said, your locale, and then the results would come. You didn't have to know anybody.
Yeah.
The results will come, whether it was back in the day, Ibobi College, forgive me, that's the best school that ever lived. But
and in the spirit that the guy who gave me the whole paraphernalia is dead, I will skip that part. Yes.
But talking seriously, schools that we looked out for back in the day: King's College, Lagos, Government College, Ueli, Christ School, Hosi College, Warri. You took the entrance exam anywhere you were, and the system worked. And if you did well, you will be called, and you joined the throng, and then you mixed with people in various other parts of the country. We talk so much about ethnicity now, and
it's terrible.
It's
terrible.
I was in boarding house for 5 years. I didn't know the difference. Who was Yoruba or Igbo?
Yes.
I only knew who were those in my own boarding house, so that we were fighting against that other house in football, in athletics, in cricket. That was what was important. It didn't occur to me that they had anything different in terms of ethnicity. It didn't occur. So it's amazing.
When you're talking about Igbobi College now and talking about school, it brings me to an issue that I said I wasn't going to talk about, but I'll just talk about it anyway. The chief anthem. I wonder how you reacted to it. Because ironically, the old anthem is what you grew up on.
Yeah.
And let me tell you a secret. Thank God. One of the reasons out of so many why I would never have taken public office in the past is if you go for screening and they ask me to sing this new anthem, I don't know it. Because you tend to know the group. So it makes life comfortable. But I just feel that there wasn't any substance to that move. It was political just to keep us busy. There was a reason for the arisal compatriots that came up at that time because of liberation of the black. It was the time of apartheid. It was a Obasanjo's period. And Nigeria led, the whole idea was to ginger black people. And now that a new renaissance is coming up, even in Africa, to free Africa from economic whatever, it would have been more relevant. What is my suggestion? It would have been better, excuse me, if we said, okay, let's have a fresh anthem and not go back to the one that was composed by some British lady. Let's have a fresh anthem. The parts that we don't like, we knock it off. The part you could always come together. We have enough madekutis and whatever, young people who can put up some good anthem. But we threw the baby away with the bathwater and went all the way back. That's my view.
I don't know how to justify it. That's the problem I have. In other words, maybe I'm so old-fashioned. I like to know why I'm doing what.
What?
Nobody has convinced me why we're doing this one.
Don't you think, for example, we should have had a referendum? It's a very vital component of our existence.
Again, I'm asking myself, why? What is so bad with what we have as national anthem? I tell you, for me, national anthem is a rallying cry.
Yeah.
Depending on what you make of it.
Yeah.
Any national anthem is just a bland song at some point until you acquire it, and then it grows with you, and then it means something to you. I know some national anthems of other countries. Anytime the anthems are played, I have goosebumps.
Yeah.
Not even my,
Yes.
because of the reaction of their nationals. I can sing it, American national anthem,
Yes.
any day. The Ghanaian national anthem. Because back in the day, in my days, the competition in sports was largely Nigeria and Ghana. And when they played the Ghanaian national anthem, boy, I mean, you felt you were at war. Ghanaians were turned on by that anthem, and this sucked you in.
Okay, what you're trying to describe, which of the two fits into that bill?
I probably would say none so far, but the last one has lasted longer, which has fed.
Okay, it's because lasted longer, yes.
Yes, so more people are used to it, and therefore more people are beginning to get a feel for it. When people stand on the podium and the national anthem is being played, it should mean something. It should mean something. But, other than that, I have no idea why the priority right now is changing the national anthem. Maybe if somebody explained it to me, I will get it. I don't get it.
Well, we'll talk of. I talk of the timing, and I'm very much against the procedure. This is a democracy. If you want to do things as you want to change the name of the country, look at the Brits, for example. When they wanted to leave the EU, there was a referendum.
Oh, that's a very fundamental thing, though.
Yes.
Very, very fundamental.
The anthem itself is fundamental. Can you imagine somebody trying to say, God save the king? In spite of the fact that you have a lot of anti-monarchists.
Yeah.
You know, it's maybe, to be honest, it doesn't mean that much to a lot of people here. I don't think it means that much, you know.
I hear it was one of the resolutions during the 2014 National Conference, in which case it's been excused under that premise.
The members of the National Conference were handpicked.
They could have given you a new constitution anyway.
But they were handpicked.
That wouldn't even bother me too much. But again, how viable is that excuse? What about all those other things that they approved at that national anthem, at that national conference?
Well, it appears, I'm beginning to see some signs. It appears that we're going to be having a lot of changes coming up very soon. But I'm worried about what the Senate President said at the presentation of the national. I don't want to bring you to politics, but I just mention and we move on. When he told the President, this assembly is yours. I felt it was very unfortunate. I harped on it on Thursday. The Senate President, full glare public, telling the President, this assembly is yours, meaning you can do with it as you wish. It's a discourse with Jimi Disu. I have Mr. Dele Adetiba here. It's 9:21. We'll soon go on break. Our lines are open 0201 277 0993. 0201 277 1993, 0201 277 2993, and 0201 277 3993. Mr. Adetiba primarily is a broadcaster, is that right? That's where you started?
Yeah.
That broadcaster. He's a goal! How did you manage to run commentaries on football so fast? Is there any technique that,
Yes, there's a technique to anything.
Or it's just a God-given talent?
A bit of that as well.
Yes.
But there's a technique to anything you do. The first thing in doing sports commentaries, you have to know the sport.
Okay.
You can't fake it. It is so turned out that I had always been interested in sports. And sometimes I remember some years ago I interviewed, I was doing a series, Sportsmen of yesteryears, and I got into the studio, some of our big stars of the past. And I was talking to A.K. Amu, one of the best sprinters that we ever had. And I asked him, what happened? In 1959, you ran 3 races, won the 3 races, fainted after each one. And he looked at me like, how did you know that? I was in school. But I was interested. I was on the pitch when it happened. And then he explained to me, he came from Ibadan, University of Ibadan. He was Muslim, he was fasting.
Wow. Okay, on that point, we'll take a very short break and then we'll be right back.
Are you finding it difficult listening to your favorite talk radio Nigeria info via the mobile app? Come closer. Let me fix that for you. Now launch the app on your device. Click the 3 lines on the top left corner of the app. Look for settings in the drop-down menu and click on it. Turn on the first option that you see. Make sure you turn on the option that says always use highest quality available audio. Now that you have done that, close the app and relaunch it. Voila! I did it! Well, sorry, you did it. Now you can enjoy your radio anywhere, anytime. Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Very.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids the new Milo 3-in-1. Milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! Ladies and gentlemen, the fan festival that you have been waiting for, Goal Fest 2024 presents Ruga Live! Also featuring Yaya and Skills with Energy by D.O. to the T.O.N. The Energy God, Shodi the Turn Up King, and Fabulous the Hype Man, your DJ Uncle Boo Boo and DJ Paparazzi. Goal Fest 2024 will also feature exhilarating games, food, and comedy. Come and watch the UEFA Champions League final on a super huge screen. Goal Fest 2024 will take place on the 1st of June at the Balmoral Convention Center, Federal Palace Hotel, Amadu Bello Way, Victoria Island, Lagos. Time 12 noon. Limited tickets available, so get your free tickets now at www.goalfestnigeria.com. Goalfest 2024 is powered by Femi and the Gang and Football Republic. Proudly refreshed by Pepsi.
Supported by Indomie, Credpal, and Apex Network. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria.
And now, we are back on the Discourse with Jimi Disu.
You're welcome back to the Discourse, and I still have my big uncle here, Uncle Dele Adetiba, and I remember his career. I followed him from radio, and then he just told me that all his advertising career was in Linters. And I used this opportunity to pay homage to my senior in school who passed, who was in two of them. One is Goke Kester. Did he go to Linters?
No.
Did he work? No.
No.
But the other was, Linters one I remember was Bola Kuku.
Yes.
Bola Kuku.
Yes.
Yes.
Bola Kuku was in Linters and then Cadbury.
And then Cadbury.
Yeah.
In those days, I think, I don't want to run a commercial, but I think Linters was far ahead of the pack. And it's difficult to find anybody in your generation who was in advertising that didn't work in Linters.
Understandably.
Yes.
Just like many people in journalism in this country had a base in Daily Times at
Daily
some point.
Times and later Punch.
And then to many.
You were lucky. When you were in radio, there was no competition. It was Radio Nigeria or nothing in this television box.
Not just Radio Nigeria, but Radio Nigeria was the only one that was pan-Nigeria.
Yes.
Now, a few regional stations, WMBS,
yes.
EMBS,
Benin. No,
there was no Benin then.
Yes.
RKTV, and all that, but only Radio Nigeria was pan-Nigeria, and only Radio Nigeria did sports around the country. So if there was any big sporting event which had to be broadcast, we did the broadcast. In
Were you
Lagos.
there when Ernest Okonkwo was there? I want to get the history right. Well,
I got asked this question quite a few times.
oh, okay. So,
In fact, people mix up the sequence.
okay.
Ernest Okonkwo joined me in outside broadcast. He was originally in external service before he got moved to sports, to outside broadcast. So the sequence, if I remember well, in terms of those who are done that job of sports broadcast and commentaries and the rest of it, the big daddy was Ishola Folorunso.
Ishola Folorunso, yes.
Yes. Then there was Yemi Fadikpe.
Yes.
After Yemi Fadikpe, I came in.
I see. I thought it was the other way around.
Nope. After Yemi Fadikpe, I came in. And I think, I'm not sure who came before each other, Kevin Ejiofor or Ernest Okonkwo. There was also Sebastian Offroom. There was Yinka Craig.
Oh, yes.
So they all came.
Oh, yes.
They all came and joined me in outside broadcast department. When I was like,
there was Fabio.
Fabio was in Ibadan. Fabio was in
was he?
WMBS. He came to Lagos when NTA was formed and everybody was under the same umbrella. Yes, but it was. I knew Fabio in my movements around the country. At that point, if anything was happening in any sports arena in this country,
yes,
at some point I had to go there.
Wow!
Because when Yemi Fadikpe left, there was a vacuum. Ishola Folorunso was then controller of programs. He was not full-time doing sports anymore. So when I came in, I was the so-called head, not in terms of title, but I was the one person, so I was the head and tail. So if anything happened, I had to be there. And I'd go to Liberty Stadium in Ibadan.
But I need to clear something. It wasn't just football that you ran commentaries on.
No.
Because as I was speaking to you, I remembered my uncle, my maternal uncle, Demola Ali. Yes, and my, what a rally.
What a rally.
There was Walter Yatogun.
Yes.
Who was it that said, is a 1-1 goalless draw?
The credit for that has been ascribed to Walter.
I knew it was him. I wanted you to say it. It's a 1-1 goal. Let's draw.
I wasn't there on the day, but
I heard it.
looks like we have to give him the copyright.
I heard it. I think I could have sworn that I
a few
heard it.
things happen in the heat of broadcast,
Yes.
particularly when you're speaking so fast,
Yes.
and your mind is racing
Racing
ahead of you.
ahead, yeah.
I've said a few things myself.
Tell me one.
One of my professional colleagues used to make fun of me about this for years. The chairman, the captain of Nigerian football team at some point was Christian Chukwu.
Yes.
They called him Chairman Chukwu.
Yes.
There was this other guy who was also in broadcasting. He was in public relations. He was MCs and all that. He was called John Chukwu.
Yeah.
In one of those big matches and racing and whatever it is, I called Christian Chukwu John Chukwu.
Wow.
and some of my friends won't let me forget it.
No, they'll never let you forget it. You know, as we grow old, one of the things we always pray for is to have successful children. It's a very big plus for any adult to have, and I'm sure you're very proud of all your children. I saw them, beautiful kids, but especially Kemi Adetiba. Are you a fan of her movies?
Oh, definitely.
You dare not say otherwise, anything.
Yes, particularly since she had a way of running them by me.
Really?
Yeah, because I also have this background in production for advertising.
Yeah.
So I know a few things about
Creative work.
You know, so I could help here and there. And in any case, one part of me which many people don't know is that I am very, very good in Yoruba.
Really?
Most people don't know that because they see that part of me. I'm speaking.
Yeah.
So for her, KOB King of Boys, which had quite a lot of dialogue in Yoruba, I did the translations.
No.
And I had to put many of them through the paces to have them deliver.
Were you paid?
Oh yeah, I insisted.
So is there any slim chance you might be... Have you ever been in acting though? I'm trying to remember. I know you model. I remember Target. I've seen a few commercials, even in recent times. I think one of the bank commercials is.
Yeah.
But do you think you'd ever take part in a movie?
I don't.
Uncle Rob is in that.
Yes, he is.
He's become an actor.
One of my old colleagues in broadcasting, Peter Doche, who is involved. I mean, he's a big.
Oh, he's a big time actor. Yes,
big time actor. He came to do a movie with my son-in-law. You know, finding the Messiah.
Your son-in-law is a producer.
Yeah, came
also, sir.
Mm-hmm. So we got together again after donkey years, and he was trying to get me to say, "Come and take a piece of acting," you know.
I think you should. I think you should. You'd like, maybe we should get you to play 007, Shaking Not Stirred. Or the good, let me give you a reminder. Or the good old Lance Spearman. You remember?
Yes.
So when you watch I think, I have some kind of affiliation with your family because of that. That
My
younger,
brother.
my Aburo, he's older than me, your younger brother. So I have this, and of course you. So when I watched King of Boys, I was almost moved to tears. It was phenomenal. How did you feel when you saw the final? Final product.
First of all, is when I saw the script.
Okay.
I've spent a of my working life evaluating scripts, and I can tell who is a talented writer, who is a functional writer. And I saw I went through the writing and I was surprised the amount of it and details that went
into it.
Yes, and I kept telling myself, where did she pick up all of this?
What's her background, though?
Her background,
I mean, educationally.
Oh, she read law.
Really?
Yeah, read law in Unilag.
On your insistence?
To some extent, she'd always been. He had this bent towards the creative side.
The creative
of things.
side.
And funny enough, she was more thinking about music.
And you said no?
No, I didn't say no, but let's get this over first.
Yeah, so you have
Let's
that
do this first.
in the kitty.
Yes,
And
then you can do. While somehow she got moved into broadcasting, and she was in radio and TV, doing this and that. By the time she finished, she got certain things done with multi-choice. So I think she was beginning to veer off the music side of things into the
acting.
Yes, a lot of that was in front of camera stuff that she was doing then, narrating things, presenting programs and all that. But then she was more interested in behind the camera.
So I'm sure you
and
know.
Then she went back to film school.
So I'm sure you know that she's working on something now. There's a milk. You don't want to tell us the name just yet, no?
I don't know.
If you should.
What I should.
So let's take a risk.
Yes. Knowing her, she will have teased it out on social media. She's quite.
How soon do you think that's coming up?
Just a question of probably weeks now.
Weeks.
Yeah, because it's all shot and.
It's all shot. It's ready. Good to go.
Editing is going on.
So I need to give you a duty for our listeners. I've been trying to get her to come. I think she's a bit publicity shy.
She is.
Yes.
She is. And
she's like her uncle.
And like me as well.
Well, I don't know about you, but her uncle is.
Most people don't believe that because I've spent most of my life behind the microphone and in front of cameras. But it's a job I got used to. Basically, I'll tell you a story. How much time do you have this segment?
Well, we have to take one or two calls.
Please, you better do that.
Do that, okay. Let's take that call because it's been persistent. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, how are you? Please speak up a bit so I can...
Good morning, my name is James. I'm calling from Ikeja. Good morning, Mr. Adetiba.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yes, let me just go straight to my question. You mentioned that sometime recently you did a production about sportsmen of later years. I wonder, is that available on YouTube or where can we get it? I'm very interested in history. It's one of my passions, and I'd like to see that.
That's a good one. Yes.
Unfortunately, no, and it wasn't recent. It was one of. I had left broadcasting completely, but at the time I did that, I was invited to do that by LTV, Lagos.
Oh, LTV, yeah.
I think it was just on then. It was during the years. So and because I had seen many sports people in my capacity as a sports broadcaster, I was able to list names I wanted.
Names and things.
Yeah, that's when I even realized that we don't have materials to go back to. In other words, I'm talking to. I talked about AK Amu to start with, Jimi Omagbemi, or footballers back in the day, to even get photographs.
Yeah, because what happened, especially in NTA, you can't get all the village headmasters. You can't get any of those stuff. There'll be for the baggers will take the money and wipe out tapes and record on top of them. It's a disaster. If you want to watch Beverly Hillbillies, name it, Bonanza, you have them. By the way, you interviewed Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
Do you have the tape?
Nope.
It's gone.
Nope. I also interviewed.
My.
I also interviewed Floyd Robertson. Floyd.
That's boxer.
Yes, the heavyweight
Some
champion
people
as
should
well.
go to prison for this.